Hold on to your seats because the heat just got turned up. Boosie, one of the most talked about names in hip-hop, is now facing a storm he never saw coming. King Harris, the influential figure behind the scenes, has publicly issued a warning after a shocking Snitch audio leak surfaced, and fans are already going wild. Social media is exploding with speculation, reactions, and heated debates. What exactly happened in that leaked audio? Who said what, and why has it pushed things to the edge? The tension isn't just about words, it's about consequences. Boosie's reputation, his alliances, and even his future moves in the industry are now under intense scrutiny. King Harris isn't holding back, and neither is the gossip spreading like wildfire. This isn't just another rap feud. It's a battle of power, credibility, and street respect. Every comment, every post, every whisper could tip the scales. In this video, we're breaking down the events, revealing what led to the leak, and exploring the warning that has everyone talking. From hidden alliances to unexpected betrayals, nothing is off limits. Fans are on edge, wondering if this feud will escalate or if a shocking resolution is on the horizon. The stakes have never been higher, and the truth behind this explosive drama is finally coming to light. Don't blink. You won't want to miss a second. The streets of hip-hop were buzzing with tension as news of a leaked Snitch audio spread like wildfire. Boosie, known for his fearless persona and outspoken nature, suddenly found himself at the center of controversy he didn't see coming. What started as whispers among insiders quickly escalated into a full-blown storm, drawing fans, artists, and media outlets into a whirlwind of speculation. But the drama went deeper than anyone expected. King Harris, a figure whose influence in the industry is immense yet often behind the scenes, had finally stepped into the spotlight. His warning to Boosie wasn't just casual advice. It carried the weight of authority, street credibility, and long-held industry respect. The warning signaled more than a disagreement. It represented a collision of power, pride, and loyalty. Jaguar Wright, social media commentators, and fans all watched in anticipation as the tension built. The leak itself contained information that many believed should have remained private. Conversations, decisions, and names tied to sensitive situations were suddenly public. For Boosie, this was a turning point. His reputation, carefully crafted over years, was now being scrutinized under a public microscope. Every reaction, every post, and every comment became critical as he navigated the fallout. Fans began to speculate. Had someone close to him betrayed him? Was this an inside job or a leak from outside the circle? King Harris's response was swift and calculated. He didn't just issue a warning for the sake of attention. He made it clear that actions have consequences. The streets and the industry are unforgiving, and a misstep at this level could cost Boosie more than just respect. It could impact alliances, business opportunities, and even his safety. The warning spread across social media like fire, with hashtags trending and discussions exploding in forums, comments, and Instagram stories. Boosie's initial reaction was a mix of surprise, frustration, and defiance. Sources close to him revealed that he felt blindsided, unprepared for the sudden scrutiny, and the threat implicit in Harris's warning. It wasn't just about the audio leak, it was about the perception it created. Trust, one of the most valuable currencies in the streets and the music industry, had been shaken. Boosie now had to navigate the delicate balance of addressing the situation publicly while managing private relationships that were suddenly under strain. Fans began to replay old interviews, social media clips, and live performances, searching for clues about what led to this moment. The narrative wasn't just about the leak, it was about patterns, alliances, and the hidden dynamics that shape the world of hip-hop. Every word spoken, every partnership formed, and every rivalry hinted at could now be seen in a new light. The streets were watching, the media was reporting, and the tension was escalating. Jaguar Wright, social commentators, and other influential voices in the community weighed in, analyzing the leaked audio and predicting the consequences. Their commentary added fuel to the fire, amplifying the stakes. Was this the start of a full-blown feud? Would Boosie retaliate, or would he attempt to de-escalate? The uncertainty created a sense of anticipation that gripped the audience, keeping them glued to every new update. Boosie's team began to strategize. Damage control, public messaging, and private conversations became top priorities. Every move had to be calculated, every statement measured. One wrong step could inflame tensions, further expose vulnerabilities, and create a backlash that would ripple through his career and personal life. King Harris's warning loomed over him like a shadow. A reminder that in the world they inhabit, power, respect, and reputation are fragile and easily shattered. Comes to a close, the stage is set for the next escalation. The audience is left asking critical questions. Who leaked the audio? What exactly did it contain? How will Boosie respond? And most importantly, what is King Harris planning next? The tension has only just begun, promising an intense, high-stakes showdown that fans will be talking about for weeks. The tension from the leaked audio didn't just fade, it intensified. As fans and insiders dissected every snippet of conversation, the industry began to react. Boosie, already shaken by King Harris's public warning, now faced whispers of betrayal from people he once trusted. Longtime collaborators and friends were suddenly reevaluating their loyalties. Some offered quiet support, but others seemed to step back, wary of being dragged into a controversy that could affect their own reputations. Jaguar Wright, who had been closely following the situation, highlighted a critical element. The leak wasn't random. It came from someone within Boosie's inner circle, someone who understood the sensitive nature of the conversations and the explosive potential if they went public. This revelation shocked fans even more. It wasn't just about Boosie being exposed. It was about trust, betrayal, and the dangerous reality of navigating the music industry where loyalty is fragile. Boosie began confronting the situation privately. Meetings were held, calls made, and alliances tested. Every person he reached out to was now under a microscope. Friends who had once been unwavering in their support seemed hesitant, offering half-hearted reassurances or deflecting questions. It became clear that the leak had not only put Boosie in the crosshairs of King Harris's warning, but had also shaken the foundation of relationships that he had relied on for years. Meanwhile, King Harris wasn't staying silent. His influence was felt quietly, behind the scenes, as he spoke with mutual contacts, industry insiders, and key figures who had sway over public perception. The warning had been just the first step. The ripple effect was being strategically managed, and every move Boosie made was being observed. The stakes were higher than ever, and the balance of power had shifted. Fans online began creating their own theories. Who was the source of the leak? Was it someone acting alone, or was it part of a calculated plan to destabilize Boosie? Social media exploded with speculation, creating an environment where misinformation and half-truths became nearly as powerful as the actual audio itself. Every clip, post, and comment fueled the tension, keeping the drama at the forefront of conversation. Boosie's response strategy became critical. He knew any public reaction had to be measured, yet authentic. Overreacting could make the situation worse, but staying silent entirely risked being seen as weak or admitting guilt. Behind closed doors, he worked tirelessly with his team to assess the impact of the leak, figure out who was responsible, and plan the next steps. Jaguar Wright described the process as grueling. Every interaction, every decision had consequences that could either escalate or diffuse the growing storm. A key turning point emerged when Boosie discovered subtle signs of betrayal from someone he considered a close confidant. Private messages, cryptic comments, and small strategic leaks all suggested that his inner circle might not be as loyal as he thought. The realization was devastating. Not only did the public know about the audio, but Boosie also had to confront the fact that the person closest to him may have orchestrated the exposure. It was a double blow. Personal and professional trust were now fractured. Jaguar Wright recounted how these developments created a volatile atmosphere. Every studio session, meeting, and interaction became tense. Even routine conversations were laced with caution. Boosie had to constantly evaluate who he could trust, who could provide real guidance, and who might have ulterior motives. The dynamic within his circle of friends and collaborators shifted dramatically, with alliances forming and dissolving at an unprecedented pace. The situation also highlighted the strategic intelligence of King Harris. By issuing a public warning, he controlled the narrative, forcing Boosie to respond under the pressure of public scrutiny. Every move Boosie made was anticipated, monitored, and analyzed, both by the public and by those in the industry with vested interests. Jaguar Wright emphasized that this wasn't just drama, it was a calculated power play, designed to assert dominance while testing loyalties. As the story unfolded, the tension between Boosie and King Harris grew more palpable. Private confrontations, veiled threats, and subtle messaging amplified the drama. The leaked audio had set off a chain reaction, destabilizing relationships, challenging reputations, and forcing everyone involved to reconsider their positions. Fans, unable to ignore the unfolding chaos, watched closely, debating every action, post, and public appearance. The industry itself seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see how the conflict would evolve. By the end of this segment, the story had reached a fever pitch. Boosie, once seemingly untouchable, was now navigating a minefield of trust, betrayal, and public scrutiny. King Harris's warning had set the tone, and the inner circle's shifting loyalties had escalated the tension to levels nobody anticipated. Fans were left with questions that demanded answers. Who would make the next move? Could Boosie regain control of the situation? And what shocking revelations would come next? The stage was set for the next chapter, a climax of confrontation, strategy, and fallout that would determine not only reputations, but the future dynamics of power in this volatile world. Every action, every word, and every decision would now carry unprecedented weight. The tension that had been simmering beneath the surface finally boiled over. After weeks of speculation, whispers, and strategic moves behind closed doors, the clash between Boosie and King Harris had become unavoidable. Fans were on edge, social media feeds exploded with debate, and every insider had a theory about who would make the first real move. The leaked audio wasn't just a catalyst. It had ignited a powder keg of conflict that was ready to blow. Boosie, now painfully aware of the betrayals surrounding him, took a public stance. His statement, carefully worded but filled with intensity, made it clear that he would not back down. "You don't play games with loyalty," he said, addressing both the industry and the streets. "When trust is broken, there are consequences." The words, simple yet loaded with meaning, resonated with fans and insiders alike. It was the moment everyone had been waiting for, a bold response to King Harris's warning, and a signal that Boosie was ready to defend his reputation at any cost. King Harris, known for his strategic thinking and influential position in the industry, responded almost immediately. Without making a spectacle, he mobilized his contacts, reaching out to key players and ensuring that his side of the story remained strong and credible. This wasn't just a feud, it was a chess game, with each move calculated for maximum impact. The public might have seen a warning, but behind the scenes, alliances were shifting. Deals were being renegotiated, and every decision carried both risk and reward. The streets, naturally, were quick to react. Every post, story, and clip related to the audio leak was dissected and debated endlessly. Fans created their own narratives, weighing in on loyalty, credibility, and who they believed would come out on top. Online forums became arenas for heated arguments, with supporters of both Boosie and King Harris staking their claims. The energy was electric and the tension was palpable. Within Boosie's camp, the pressure was mounting. Collaborators and friends who had survived years of industry volatility now faced a new kind of scrutiny. Trust had become a currency, and every interaction was measured against it. Jaguar Wright, closely observing the unfolding drama, noted that the leaked audio had done more than expose sensitive information. It had tested the loyalty of everyone involved. Friendships were being questioned, alliances were being reevaluated, and Boosie's ability to manage the chaos would define his next moves. A critical turning point came when an insider close to both parties revealed new details about the leak. The source, speaking under anonymity, confirmed suspicions that the audio had been intentionally shared to manipulate perception and escalate tension. This revelation shocked fans and insiders alike, as it added a layer of calculated strategy to what had initially seemed like a reckless mistake. Now it was clear, this wasn't just drama, it was a tactical play designed to shift power dynamics in the industry. Boosie, refusing to be caught off guard again, began taking more deliberate steps. Private meetings, selective public statements, and strategic social media posts became his tools for regaining control. Every action was scrutinized, every word analyzed, and every interaction weighed for its potential impact. The leaked audio had destabilized him, but it also forced a level of precision and awareness that would define the rest of this conflict. King Harris, meanwhile, maintained a calm but calculated presence. He avoided unnecessary public drama but ensured that his influence was felt in every corner of the industry. Trusted allies acted quietly on his behalf, reinforcing his position and subtly reminding everyone that the warning was not an empty threat. Fans watching the unfolding events saw flashes of tension, but only those with insider knowledge understood the full magnitude of the moves being made behind the scenes. The confrontation reached its most dramatic stage when Boosie and King Harris were brought into the same public setting. The energy was intense, almost electric. Every glance, every word, and every reaction was loaded with meaning. It wasn't just a personal clash. It was a test of reputation, authority, and influence. The audience, both in person and online, felt the gravity of the moment. Social media erupted with clips, memes, and live commentary as fans tried to interpret what was happening in real time. In this high-stakes environment, the leaked audio continued to play a pivotal role. Every detail from the recording was dissected and referenced, serving as both evidence and a point of contention. Boosie had to navigate the complex interplay of perception, loyalty, and credibility, knowing that any misstep could escalate the conflict further. Jaguar Wright noted that the drama wasn't just entertainment. It was a masterclass in the high-pressure dynamics of reputation, trust, and influence in the hip-hop world. As the events unfolded, it became clear that the situation would not resolve quickly or easily. Tensions remained high, trust had been fractured, and both Boosie and King Harris were fully aware that this conflict could define their legacies. Fans were left on the edge of their seats, eager for the next revelation, the next confrontation, and the eventual resolution. By the end of this chapter, the stage was set for the climax. Boosie had responded, King Harris had countered, and the streets and industry insiders were now fully invested in the outcome. The drama had reached a boiling point, and only time would tell who would emerge victorious, whose reputation would suffer, and which alliances would survive the storm. The tension that had gripped the streets, social media, and the music industry finally reached its breaking point. Boosie and King Harris, after weeks of private maneuvering, leaks, and public warnings, were now at the center of a dramatic showdown that would define their reputations and influence. Fans, insiders, and collaborators were all waiting, watching every move with bated breath. The climax began in a private but strategically chosen public space, a studio session that doubled as a subtle confrontation. Boosie arrived confident but cautious, aware that every glance, word, and gesture could be amplified by cameras, fans, and industry insiders. King Harris, calm yet commanding, met him with a demeanor that communicated power without unnecessary theatrics. The tension was palpable, a mix of respect, anger, and anticipation swirling in the room. Boosie spoke first, addressing both the streets and the industry in a controlled but assertive tone. "Loyalty isn't a game," he said, referencing the leaked audio and the betrayals it had exposed. "If you mess with trust, there are consequences." The statement was deliberate, signaling to everyone that he would not be undermined or manipulated. Fans and insiders immediately recognized the weight behind his words. They were more than words. They were a declaration of his resilience. King Harris responded in kind, subtly reinforcing his influence while avoiding direct aggression. He knew the power of perception, and by maintaining composure, he allowed the warning to carry more weight than any argument could. Behind the scenes, his allies circulated messages and maintained control over the narrative, ensuring that the impact of the leaked audio continued to serve his strategic objectives. Meanwhile, the leak itself remained a critical element in the unfolding drama. Every snippet, every revelation, and every insinuation kept the streets and online communities buzzing. Fans debated endlessly about who was responsible, why the leak occurred, and what it meant for the balance of power. Social media became a battlefield of its own, with supporters from both sides weighing in, creating an atmosphere of constant tension and anticipation. Boosie, however, was not passive. He meticulously navigated the aftermath, confronting betrayal, reinforcing loyal alliances, and strategically managing his public statements. Each move was designed to regain control, protect his reputation, and send a clear message to both supporters and detractors. Jaguar Wright observed these developments closely, emphasizing how Boosie's actions demonstrated a blend of street wisdom, industry savvy, and emotional intelligence. The fallout was multi-layered. Some family and close collaborators began to reconcile, seeing the value in restoring fractured relationships. Others chose distance, unwilling to risk further involvement in the drama. For Boosie, this mix of loyalty and skepticism shaped his next steps, guiding both his career and personal decisions. Meanwhile, King Harris maintained a carefully measured approach, ensuring that his influence and reputation remained intact while continuing to assert his position in the conflict. The final confrontation was more psychological than physical. Words, gestures, and subtle exchanges carried more weight than any public statements or social media posts. Boosie's resilience and strategic thinking were on full display, while King Harris's calculated calm reinforced his status as a powerful figure capable of shaping outcomes without overt aggression. Fans, insiders, and commentators watched closely, noting every nuance and subtle interaction. By the end of the showdown, the story reached a complex resolution. While some conflicts remained unresolved and some relationships were permanently altered, both Boosie and King Harris emerged with their reputations largely intact, having navigated a volatile and highly publicized situation with intelligence and strategy. The leaked audio, though initially destructive, became a catalyst for reflection, reevaluation, and the assertion of authority and loyalty in both camps. The narrative left fans with a deep understanding of the high-stakes dynamics of fame, loyalty, and trust within the hip-hop industry. It was more than drama. It was a lesson in strategy, resilience, and the delicate balance of personal and professional relationships. The saga concluded with a sense of closure, but also a reminder that in a world fueled by influence, every action carries consequence, and trust remains one of the most valuable and fragile currencies. The story of Boosie and King Harris is more than just a feud. It's a masterclass in loyalty, strategy, and the high-stakes world of hip-hop. Now that you've seen the full saga unfold, we want to hear from you. How do you think Boosie handled the leaked audio? Was King Harris's warning fair, or was it a calculated move to assert control? Share your thoughts in the comments and let the community know where you stand. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explosive stories from the world of music, street drama, and behind-the-scenes conflicts. Hit the notification bell to stay updated, because these situations evolve fast, and you won't want to miss the next twist or revelation. Your opinion matters. Engage with us. Debate, analyze, and discuss what you would do if you were in Boosie's or King Harris's position. Every comment adds to the conversation and helps fans understand the complexity of loyalty, trust, and reputation in the industry. Remember, this isn't just entertainment. It's a look behind the curtain at real people, real consequences, and real drama. The streets are watching, the industry is watching, and now you're part of the story too. Stay tuned, because the next saga could be even more shocking than this one.